That brings me to one of the questions that came in, because I'm going to ask this question and ask that question that just came in here on our top pin post there at So Social Radio Show. You mentioned keywords. How do you find a keyword? And is there a magic word count number that you should use on your, say, website so that you are found more often?
The quantity and the relevance of your text on a website is important. You can have too little.
And you could also have too much, right?
Well, you necessarily can't have too much, but it's not all going to get indexed.
Okay.
And that's what I was saying. You need to keep it in the first paragraph and get the bulk of your strategy that you're trying to implement in that first paragraph. Then below that, you can start in separate paragraphs explaining the facts that you're going as you go down. But you want to get that summary out there as best as you can, as fast as you can.
Okay, and how do you know what is a good keyword so that you're consistently using that? And could you be using that keyword too much?
Okay, I'll answer the last side of that.
Okay.
Yes, you can. What's known as stuff keywords.
Ooh, okay.
And when you're stuffing keywords, remember Google's got every word indexed, and they know your word count. They know how many times you used each word, and whether it's in a relative sentence or paragraph or not in a relative sentence or paragraph. Because Google doesn't, like I said, do searches anymore. It looks for creative content. And because they index all this stuff, please do not copy and paste other content on there, because you're going to go to the bottom of the list.
What do you mean by that, pasting other content?
Well, you go to a website and, hey, that content sounds real good. I'm gonna copy that content.
Plagiarize.
And I'm gonna change some of the words up in it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you may take a 300 word paragraph, let's say,
okay,
and you're going to change 30 words.
But it's still going to register from where you actually grabbed that content, because they're already indexed.
Because Google's already indexed it on that.
That's an interesting
and they're
point.
And they say, oh, no. There's too many words too close. Google didn't get in its position that it's in by not being intelligent and not having the manpower and the thought leaders in their organization attempting to deliver a better than top-notch service. Mm-hmm.
So again, it goes back, when you're talking about keywords, I'm hearing that they don't have to be an exact, an exact match of what someone's looking for when they're doing a search on a topic. But again, you want to make sure you have a good keyword that you're using in all of your online marketing. So how would you narrow that keyword down? Because you don't want to, as you said, take it from somewhere else.
You can have a word, okay, and I choose the word, my primary word, my dominant word, from Google AdWords.
Okay.
I just go to AdWords and I look at how much that word is being used. Mm-hmm. If it's being used hundreds of thousands of times, millions of times, that's not a good word. It may be the perfect word in your mind, but that's not enough.
And it's because you aren't going to be able to, you're going to have to pay a lot of money to make sure you get ranked higher with that word. Is that what I'm hearing or understanding?
Yeah, well,
okay.
If you can even get ranked at all.
Okay.
On that, because if you pick that word, like I was using, hotel. Mm-hmm. How many hotels are out there in the U.S. and the world?
So you have to, how would you?
So I might want to say a 3-star hotel in Cocoa Beach, Florida, that has whatever amenities you're looking for.
So you're narrowing that search.
And then hit search. So you're getting more specific on that. You could even put your price range in there.
So the more specific a person is that's searching, they're going to have more served to them. And the more specific we as a business people are with our website, putting that content and how we actually write that content, the copywriting, that's going to help those people find us better too then.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's what makes Google such a powerful organization. I mean, they've got the SEO text gurus over there that are really doing their darndest to make our experience from the user side really great on that. And the neat thing is you can go up to Google and search anything you want to look up on keyword searches, your video and analysis of your video through YouTube and that. But just go have fun. Go have some fun with it first before you get serious, because in that having fun, you're going to learn how all this works, or at least topically you are.
Okay. And am I hearing right then that it's important to let Google know you're there? Is it required to register your website to Google, or will they still see it?
They'll find it.
Okay.
Because all the domain companies that are out there, Google knows.
Okay, so they're pulling from that information there.
Absolutely so.
Well, what are some of the tips that you can provide to our audience today that would help them get better rankings then? I mean, you're mentioning the keyword and the type of content, because what I'm hearing is content is definitely the key to search engine optimization.
Yeah, we've always said content is king.
Okay, so what are some of the other items that maybe someone could do on their site to get ranked a little bit easier?
Yeah, within your authoritative part of what you're doing, backlinks are key, and that's where if somebody had a link, okay, let's just say you had a chamber of commerce, a nonprofit association, or something like that, and on their website they had a link back to your website. That's a very strong authoritative position to look at. Okay, we got a nonprofit here. Google knows they just don't link to anybody. Okay, on putting that together, so you can use that type of a system and do it. It used to be in the old days. They used to run ads on Google and say, for $200 we'll get you 1,000 backlinks. Well, that's fine, but they're coming from Pakistan, India, China, all these countries, and Google knows.
That's not relevant to your business. Like with us on our website, we have on the bottom of each page a link to the associations we belong to.
Correct.
A few of the chambers and a couple other associations. So those are considered backlinks to them.
Yes.
So I'm helping them.
But by the same time, most associations, like chambers and stuff, link back to you.
Okay.
So that is now a backlink from a reputable authority that knows you. I mean, you can do the same thing from Amazon, the same thing from a whole bunch of different associations that sit out there. But the key is they need to really be 4- and 5-star backlinks. Organizations that have reputable knowledge of who you are and why they're doing it.
And is it common or okay to ask a company if you're putting a backlink for them, if they would?
Oh, absolutely.
Reciprocate? Okay.
Reciprocal, yes. Most definitely.
Okay.
If your small business is small business, it's okay. It's not going to be as good as if you had a nonprofit, so get a nonprofit to do it. If nonprofit's asking you to donate money, make sure they're going to give you a backlink in return for the money. Okay.
Well, along this topic, great question for you is, does Google look at your social media activity? Is that another way to rank in Google? Because we're usually driving traffic from our social media to our website, right?
Correct.
How does that work?
Absolutely the same. They go into Facebook. They go into LinkedIn. Your profile, your page, it doesn't matter. Your company page, especially on LinkedIn, all of that's got to have keywords in the proper density. So, but yes, there's nothing that Google's not looking at out there.
Well, would you recommend across those social media platforms that you use the same content in your profile on each of them, or so that it's consistent? Like, say, take information from your website and then put that in the profile for your LinkedIn company page, your business page on Facebook or Pinterest, or et cetera.
I would not copy and paste, but I would definitely, because if we're going from your Facebook profile, which is a little bit more socially oriented, to LinkedIn business page, which is all professional. So you might want to re-script it to be more of a business type letter on LinkedIn, where on Facebook you want it to be a little bit more socially inclined, even on the business page.
Mm-hmm. And I know that on Facebook, the only feature that's actually indexed by Google is your actual business page, and they
Correct.
look at that profile.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely want to make sure that you have good information there that would resonate with those people looking for you, because that would pop up then in the searches, correct?
Exactly. And, again, make it a story. Make it say something that people are going to remember. You just can't start talking about your business. WCM was founded in 1998 and all this other kind of stuff. Okay, it's all true, but who cares? I don't do business with a corporation. I do business with a person in a corporation, and that's where you want the relationship to go. And so when you start looking at that side of it, it's got to have the social flair to it. It's got to be able to attract people and let them know that you are the one for them.
Well, that's really interesting. It's going to make me go back and take a look at all my profiles to see what I'm doing, because I know that we also need to, if I understand correctly, consistently update them, especially our website. So what are some recommendations to updating your website so that you have fresh content happening?
Well, on your website, you need to have a blog page within your website.
Okay.
You don't have to put out a blog post every day, but I would say every week would be fantastic. At least every other week, if you really want some good results with Google.
Okay, and that goes along with the question that came in: is a blog on website the best way to add content, or perhaps maybe a video blog? So what you're saying is yes, you want that blog on your website.
Correct.
Okay.
And we were talking about video. Okay, do a YouTube video. Okay, it's gonna be in a very short period of time transcribed to text. Okay, so when you're doing your YouTube video, make sure you say at the end of it, you can connect with me. Go ahead and give your web address. That way it'll be in the text box below on that. Even it may not be a hot link, but it will be there. So you do it from that standpoint, and then take that video and put it inside your website.
Okay, so that it all integrates together.
It's all integrating together, and you're telling a story.
Quick question about YouTube there for search engine. I see when I go on YouTube, I see some channels have a description and some don't. So you're saying that is a must. You must put a description in underneath the video, so that, because Google's reading that as well as the text that's being said or heard in the actual video itself.
Correct. Yeah, and you're just, if you don't, you're just hurting yourself. And depending on what industry you're in and where your thought process is being ranked, it could hurt. Or it's going to hurt anyway a little bit, but it could hurt a lot if you're in a competitive business and you need to be in the top few organic posts that are there. So as we say, it needs to be above the fold in newspaper business, which means it needs to be visible on your screen and where people don't have to scroll down. So you need to be above the fold.
Well, that makes me think